difficult for humans today, and something we need to realize is that when we live in a world where emotions are considered a form of weakness, then it becomes very tough for us all humans. So people have to pretend to put up a smiling face, a strong face, and everyone just walking up and down with masks. And the underlying problem is not handled because, first of all, it's not expressed. And so someone might go around thinking, oh, look at that person, they have a perfect life. Oh, look at that person, they have a wonderful life. But you have no idea the pain and tears that are hidden under that mask. This explains why you just wake up one morning and hear that someone did something horrible and you're like, I never saw that coming. We could never imagine that they could do this or do that. But it's because all of that had been boiling in, and because there wasn't room for it to be expressed and maybe handled and dealt with, it just fermented and grew up in the darkness, and someday eventually it explodes, and then we have a tragedy of one sort or another. So I just want to encourage everyone listening to these or watching these that it's okay to not be alright sometimes. It's okay to feel down. Sometimes it's okay not to feel strong. You don't have to be strong all the time. It's okay that things don't go out the way you planned and then you feel disappointed. It's okay that these things could lead even to depression, but you need to understand something, that there is nothing wrong with you. You're a human, you have emotions. It's a natural process with all humans. So think of all the stars and the people you admire. They go through the same things, and that's why you wake up and hear that this star gave up on life and did something tragic, and you're wondering, we thought this person was happy. Well, happiness doesn't cut it. What you really need is joy. And so depression is really the lack of joy. Joy is a sense, in a way, a reason for life, a reason to continue living, an enjoyment or appreciation of life. Happiness, you could buy a thing or two, get excited, go to a party, get excited, but when you come back, you realize that there is still that emptiness. The hole in your heart is a hole for joy, and the peck of happiness just can't fit in there. This affects everyone, the rich, the poor. It's a human fact. If simply the fact that you are alive, the fact that you're trying to find meaning for your life, the fact that you're trying to see that your needs are met every day, or trying to go out to work, or trying to go out to do things. In short, if you're doing things, it means that unforeseen things will also happen. And then there's always going to be room for disappointment and possibly depression. And so sometimes you may ask yourself, what is the reason for all this? Why go to work? Why go to school? What's the purpose of life? Why all the mad rat chase to become a millionaire or something if you're just going to die after and leave everything behind? So what is the meaning of life? Why? Well, I'll be pleased to tell you that the wisest man who ever lived also thought about these things and also had to wrestle with all these thoughts. And from one thing that he could learn from it all, he shares it with us. And we can see that in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 10, and he says, downward, he says, I have seen the task which God has given to the sons of men with which to occupy themselves. He has made everything beautiful and appropriate in its time. He has also planted eternity, a sense of divine purpose in the human heart, a mysterious longing which nothing under the sun can satisfy except God. Yet man cannot comprehend or grasp what God has done, his overall plan from the beginning to the end. So here he's basically saying that there is a burden God has placed in a man's heart. He hasn't given us a full picture of everything. So once in a while you still doubt if this is the path you should be taking. Once in a while you're asking yourself, what's the purpose of all this? Once in a while you're asking yourself, why are you going through all this that is happening to you? And so in verse 12 he tells us the one good thing, the thing to note. He says, I know there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and to do good as long as they live, and also that every man should eat and drink and see and enjoy the good of his labor. It is the gift of God. Basically what he's saying is, you may not have all the answers today, that's fine. You may not have everything figured out today, that's fine. It's not a reason to give up. There is still tomorrow. There is a possibility that what you don't have today, you possibly have it tomorrow. So don't give up on life, don't lose hope, don't stay in that depression. He says, wake up, rise up, go out there and say, yeah, it's normal to be weak, it's normal to fall sometimes, but I'll pick myself up. I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink, and I'm going to enjoy the good of all my labor. It's a gift from God. I'm going to enjoy the birds singing. I'm going to reminiscence on good memories and keep the hope, because life is not about how fast you go, but how far you go. So if it's a journey of endurance, then don't bother so much about speed as so much about arriving in one peace of mind, in one peace of spirit. So my dear friend, don't give up on life, don't lose hope. We are all in this together. There will be ups, there will be downs. So if you're in a down, remember there was once an up and there is going to be another up. So hang in there, wake up, go out there and appreciate all that you can appreciate. Give thanks and appreciate God, and things are definitely. So that's our time in this video. I'm Buddha's Jumesi from Wisdom for Dominion. I hope this blessed you. Give it a thumbs up and share it with 1 or 2 friends. Subscribe if you're new, and I want to say a big shout out and thank you to all these amazing Patreons who support us monthly. You too can support us. Check the link to our Patreon page in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.